Hello, I'm Bay Mud, and today we're looking at my new favorite guitar sound because it's actually a keyboard. Stay with me, it will all make sense, I promise. Oh yeah, that's the stuff. And would you believe no guitar signal was harmed in the making of that clip? That was all the sounds of the Yamaha Reface CP keyboard. In fact, everything you're about to hear will be coming from the CP as controlled by my trusty parts caster via the Fishman Tripleplay Express MIDI pickup. None of this is sponsored. I bought all this stuff by myself, and I'm just excited to share my current obsession. Hey, it's me. I hope it's clear I'm not trying to suggest that this sort of rig could or should replace your guitar setup, or even mine for that matter. I'm just having fun with stuff I already own in ways I may not have used before to get some sounds I'm excited about. It's glitchy sometimes, it's not perfect, my playing's not perfect, we're just having fun. Basically, I've been having fun recording more folky songs lately for my growing Patient Whales side project, and that has ended up involving the triple play MIDI pickup to add some synth textures underneath my guitar playing. I've been finding that layers of MIDI arps or pads that follow beneath my playing help reinforce melodies and glue things together while also imbuing the otherwise folky songs with some interesting ambience. In that exploration, I've become a bit obsessed with using my guitar to trigger the Reface CP, particularly the Rhodes sound. Once again, that was 100% the CP. No guitar signal. It's so warm and gritty, and I'm just using gear I already own. Always fun when you find new things to do with stuff you bought for other purposes. But Mr. Mud, the Reface CP already has a keyboard. Why not just play that? First off, call me Bay. Mr. Mud is my father. Second, I love playing the CP on its own too, but there's something so comfortable and expressive about triggering it with a guitar. Not to mention, I'm marginally better at playing guitar than I am at keys. Marginally bad at both, of course. In general, though, the way I gravitate toward chord voicings and rhythm while playing guitar naturally sounds different than how I approach the same chord progressions on keys. It's all just another weapon in the overall creative arsenal, and in this case, one I'm currently excited about. Also, 2 words, pitch bend. Something that isn't present on the CP itself, but can be triggered by MIDI. Though this does involve careful playing and specific settings in the triple play dashboard, as you can select between no pitch bend, smooth, or natural bends, as well as having it quantized to the nearest semitone. I prefer smooth, as it feels more accurate to the instrument I'm trying to play. Of course, it's not perfect. I still have to play pretty cleanly, which is good practice in itself, and it does sometimes glitch out on bends. It's not great for a big double stop bends, for example. Though you may already play more cleanly than I can and would have an easier time. I believe in you. But overall, after some tweaks to the placement and settings, it's been a lot of fun. Speaking of, placement of the triple play pickup does matter more than I initially cared to admit in earlier videos, so thanks to those folks who chastised me in prior videos about having it in front of my Telecaster pickups instead of near the saddles. While it did trigger consistently there and required less work to get in position, being closer to the saddles has proven to be more accurate in terms of pitch tracking, as that's where the string vibrations are most stable. Though I'm still working on final placement, as the adapters provided by Fishman hang off the Tele bridge, so the connection side is floating in a way I don't like. Mine is currently just adhered to the bridge plate with thick double-sided tape. My long-term plan is to use the thinnest adapter provided in the package, then 3D print a little support for the upper portion here. I still maintain that the triple play pickups weren't designed for use with Telecasters for this reason. Otherwise, they'd include specific adapters for this type of bridge. It would also be largely impossible with an ashtray bridge, so keep that in mind. Most of my other guitars are even less suitable though, being old archtops or weird Japanese mysteries with tall pickups. So here we are. So how does it all connect? The Tripleplay Express has a USB cable, and while the CP does have a USB connection, unfortunately, it's not as simple as just connecting the two, as one of them needs to be a USB host. Think of the Tripleplay as a USB control surface and the CP as a sound module. There has to be something in the middle to help translate between the two. There are a few other ways to get around this, like using a computer as a go-between, or another unit that can function as a USB host, like the Deluge or MIDI Cake ARP, for example. In this case, I've opted for the CME H4MIDI box, as it's small and not too expensive. There's also the H2MIDI, which is even smaller and cheaper. This allows me to connect the Tripleplay to the USB input and then the CP to one of the DIN MIDI outputs. I could get more complex with the MIDI presets and routing via the H4MIDI too if I wanted, but this setup is simple enough to not need anything fancy. In this case, the Tripleplay is in single channel mode, sending on MIDI channel 1, as the CP can only receive one MIDI channel at a time. So no MPE or per string sounds here, but maybe in a separate video with the Deluge down the road. Now let's not forget about the onboard effects of the Reface CP. They're a huge part of why I'm so obsessed with this sound right now, and really help the CP become an all-in-one pedal board of sorts. First off, the stereo tremolo on the Rhodes preset is worth it all on its own. Listen in headphones for some lovely back and forth panning. Dial up the drive, then mix in a slow-moving phaser, pinch of analog model delay, dollop of reverb, and we've really got a lush, gnarly stew going. Here are a few other examples of different settings using only the Reface CP via the Tripleplay pickup that make me excited to play, which is what it's all about, right? Admittedly, the toy piano is still a bit of a conundrum, but that's just a creative challenge waiting for a solution. And yes, I know about the hidden piano setting. And of course, I can mix my actual guitar signal through my usual pedal board for a little extra clarity and punch. in all, while it may be a bit of intentional rage bait to say I found my new favorite guitar rig and it's actually a keyboard, it's also fairly accurate. I'm just super pumped about this setup right now. There's a reason the sounds of these classic electric pianos have endured and why people love the CP specifically. So being able to trigger those with my everyday guitar has been a lot of fun and, not for nothing, creatively inspiring. Have you had any success with MIDI guitar pickups? Any pairings that similarly helped unlock a sound you really enjoyed? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching.